son of Dale, here at Pensacon 2020, and I gratefully welcome you to this episode of Thor Talks to Christy, New York. How are you doing?
Hey, I am awesome. I'm very excited. This is actually my first Pensacon, so I am just thrilled to be here.
It is also my first Pensacon. High five. Yes! And his cameraman. Camera Thor.
I'm going to probably adopt your accent over the course of this interview, so if I just start talking with a Thor accent, I'm sorry. I'm not.
It's all right. It is an homage.
An homage.
So we're going to hop right in. You're a filmmaker. How long have you been working in the filmmaking industry?
So I have been working in the industry for over a decade. My specialty is in post-production, and I am primarily a video editor, but I also do motion design and creative direction. And currently, my company here in Pensacola, I've been in the area for about 5 years, so just love this area and all the potential for working in the industry here. So.
That's wonderful. So it sounds like you do a lot of things. What would you say your job title is, and what does someone with that job title do? Some duties of the doing.
Sure. So I am the creative director at Vivid Bridge Studios, and my primary role is to develop creative strategies that really connect to, so I do commercial production. So a lot of that is about connecting goals to a visual product. And so we really get to know our clients. We do a lot of brand work and identity and really understanding how we translate their values into visual sort of sequences and all the rest. So we're really interested in creating emotional impact in our work. And so to do that, you really need to know who are we talking about and who are we talking to, and that's the audience.
Yes, creating emotional impact, that is the meaning of life. So what is it that drew you to the filmmaking industry?
Well, I think one of the things that I've always been very connected to personally is delivering an impactful message. Going back to that emotional impact. And I knew that I was meant to be some kind of communicator. And for a long time, I was more into the traditional arts. I loved drawing and painting and also writing. And then when I started learning about video editing, I realized that video editing was very much like writing in a lot of ways. You know, you're telling a story, you're creating beats and moments that connect to an audience. And so I just really fell in love with the craft of that. And when I started learning animation too, it was kind of like a convergence of that more traditional art form. And I don't know, it's just all come together for me.
It's melted into a perfect unity of life, is what it has. So you talk about emotional connections. What is your go-to fandom that emotionally connected to you the most?
I think one of the fandoms that I felt very moved by was the Lord of the Rings. The films were just, I saw all of them in the theaters, and I cheered, I cried, and just in terms of the scale, they're so epic, and there really haven't been a lot of films that I have felt have really landed in such a perfect way. So yeah, Lord of the Rings is and Legolas. I mean, I kind of liked him a bit. So.
What kind of community and charity work do you do?
So my major focus in the community is Emerald Coast Filmmakers, and we are a newly formed nonprofit. A few years ago, I took over the Emerald Coast Film Group, which is really, it's been a Facebook group for over 10 years, and that's where local filmmakers find work and collaborate and provide educational resources. And I just felt that there was so much more that I wanted to do with that group. It has over 3,000 members, and so I was like, man, if we can't create a movement out of this, that's just really almost a tragedy, right? So last year, I pulled together a few committee members who have really helped bring to life this new nonprofit called Emerald Coast Filmmakers. And our goal is really to help build more infrastructure for the film industry here, to provide educational resources for the filmmakers in the area, and create more community. You know, it's easy to be in a Facebook group and post and comment, but to see each other face to face, and especially at things like this where we are, you know, coming together and having a roundtable discussion, that was just so important to build the community. So we are here as truly the support for the industry here. There's not really another nonprofit that serves that function, at least in Pensacola and kind of the immediate areas. And so we're very much in the early stages, but long term, you'll see far more workshops and other educational resources for us, for all of us. And we're hoping to also have a crew database so that for both crew and talent, so that if people need to find crew or talent for their productions, they have a very easy list that they can access. So.
Wow, that is wonderful. She's doing the work, she and everyone else in the filmmaking group are just doing the work that you at home probably did not want to do. So you're welcome from her, from me, to you. Yes. All right, so final, it's not really a question, but where can people find you and contact you for, you know, you're working in the industry. Where can they hire you to animate their crazy mind's eye, as well as other ways to contact the filmmaking group?
Absolutely. So my company's name is Vivid Bridge Studios, and we are at vividbridge.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. We have our stories are pretty fun if you ever want to follow along about our crazy camaraderie on set and everything. We have a lot of fun. And then Emerald Coast Filmmakers, right now we're developing our website, so I don't have an address for that yet. But you can find us on Facebook at, if you just search for Emerald Coast Filmmakers. We'll see you there.
All right. I want to thank you, Christine, for talking with me here and sharing your story. I wish you success and love on your journey across the multiverse. And I want to thank you for tuning into this episode of Thor Talks 2 here with Christine. Don't forget to like and subscribe/follow so you can follow Thor's journey across the multiverse. I thank you again. I wish you great success. I'll see you next time, and I love you.
Wow, another great interview completed, and I wanted to add a post-credits plug of gratitude. Thank you again to my guest for speaking with me today. I wish you much success on your journey. And thank you to the Gulf Coast Titans for giving me the opportunity to go to Pensacon and put smiles on everyone's faces. The Gulf Coast Titans are a volunteer cosplay group out of Panama City, Florida, with the sole purpose of spreading love of characters and happiness to all ages. Be sure to like and follow them on Facebook and Instagram so that you can book them for your character needs. Lastly, I would like to thank the folks in charge of Pensacon for giving me the opportunity to speak with such beautiful souls as you have seen here today. Do not forget to follow and like their Facebook and Instagram so that you can stay up to date on Pensacon 2021.